My name is Ethel Walker and I am a painter. I studied at Glasgow School of Art and my first solo exhibition was in Edinburgh in 1972. Since then, I have exhibited widely in the UK and abroad. I have shown my work at the Thackeray Gallery for many years, first with Priscilla, who founded the gallery, with Anne, and in recent years with Sarah. I have lived for nearly 50 years in Mid-Argyll on the west coast of Scotland. At the beginning of lockdown, I walked out on the beach at Crinan Ferry. It was low tide. There were no planes overhead, no boats, no sound of cars on the road. Even the birds were silent. I realised that someone could have stood here thousands of years ago and seen what I was seeing. This is an ancient land. We are not over-precious about it. Farmers plough round the standing stones and sheep graze by the chambered cairns in Kilmartin Glen. There is a feeling of permanence. It seldom feels like the pictured postcard land of Visit Scotland, with blue skies and white sandy beaches, though we do have our share of those. Often you feel as if the clouds were on your head. Then the wind rises, the clouds lift, and the light breaks through. Sometimes pale translucent light, sometimes sun which makes the hills golden, sometimes fiery sunsets, pulsating sweeps of colour like a Mark Rothko painting. And we have the sea. Knowing this coast so well, I always have to reorientate when I see the land from a boat. Reflections and tides and the movement of the water are all integral. Most of my inspiration comes from the ever-changing skies and weather patterns, overlaying and affecting ancient landforms. The light on the land can appear to change contours. Islands seem to float. Solid appears unsubstantial, and air, sea, and stone merge. It is the interaction of the transient and the permanent that I find fascinating. I want to catch a visual instance and a sense of immediacy, but also a sense of enduring place. There is always a starting point for a painting. It may be an effect of light, an arrangement of form, or a juxtaposition of colours. This starting point has to be vivid, concise, essential. Keeping this dynamic means disregarding anything which detracts from the original idea. Less is more. Sometimes I see something and have to carry it back in my head until I can get to the studio. I have a small studio with good north light. It is hugely cluttered. My family refer to it as Mum's cupboard, and it is my private space. As I work, I move unfinished or unresolved paintings to an adjacent larger space. There I consider where I'm going next and see with a fresh eye. I am of the school which holds that good drawing is the basis of good painting, not a fashionable stance. But as Ruskin said of Turner, there is a substance behind the shimmer. A friend who works in the theatre once said to me that painting is a performance art. I had never thought of it that way, but it is true. It is a performance in isolation. The audience comes later. Brush drawing, calligraphy, the handwriting of the artist. There are no tricks, no fudge, just the immediacy of the pure line. You have to gear yourself up to do this. Take a deep breath, pick up the brush, and go for it. Painting is compulsive. It is also a lonely occupation, and one is one's own harshest critic. The buzz comes when you stand back and know something has worked, and done so with integrity. I am not a wordsmith. If I were, I should be writing poetry instead of painting pictures. I find it hard to philosophize about the whys and wherefores of my art. I only offer an interpretation, walk away, and let the work speak for itself.